President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump heading to Corpus Christi this morning, near where Harvey came ashore as a Category 4 storm late Friday. Joining us now by Skype, Republican Congressman Blake Farenthold of Texas, whose district includes Corpus Christi. Congressman, what are you hoping to hear from the president when he visits your area today?
I want to leave an impression in the president's mind of how severe the devastation is in some of our area towns like Port Aransas, Rockport, and Port Lavaca. You know, Houston and the ongoing rescue operations are the headlines, but just last weekend we were devastated to the point you go to a town like Rockport, you can't look anywhere without seeing buildings that are almost completely destroyed.
Congressman, what does your district need most right now?
Right now, we've started, the FEMA has gotten on scene, and we're getting the food and water that we need for most areas. We need to get the electric company in to finish getting power restored. That's the key to our businesses opening up. You know, a city can survive for a while, but eventually you're going to need a grocery store.
What's the outlook on power? How long are things going to be shut down? And what also is the outlook on the refineries? When are they going to be back up and running?
Well, right now, the delay on the refineries is access to the ship channel. The Army Corps of Engineers has two dredges that are stuck in Houston that could open up our ship channel by this weekend if they were able to get down there. We had an oil rig, offshore oil rig, big, huge 12-story rig, break its moorings and float away. We're getting that taken care of. Then the Coast Guard needs to survey the ship channel to make sure the depth is sufficient for the ships, and where it isn't, the Army Corps of Engineers needs to get a dredge. They're talking about bringing one down from the Mississippi, but there's a new modern dredge under contract in Houston that could probably be here tomorrow or the next day. And the port officials tell me we could have those refineries back online as early as Saturday.
Congressman Leah Gabriel here. I went through Navy Flight School in Corpus Christi, a wonderful area, and my thoughts and prayers with all of you all right now as you're going through this. I wanted to ask you, there are estimates that more than 50% of homes that are in the Houston area that may be flooded were not in the federally mandated flood areas where they had to have insurance. People are going to be thinking about rebuilding and losing their homes and then trying to rebuild them. What does it look like in your area in terms of insurance and coverage?
Well, fortunately, we don't get hurricanes as often as Houston gets floods, but Texans are resilient. We're going to build. I was with Governor Greg Abbott in Rockport, where he, I think, correctly predicted that Rockport would be open for business soon, and that by next summer it would be back in a condition that you would want to visit it on a vacation.
Michael?
Congressman, this is Michael Starr Hopkins. I'm wondering, as Houston starts to rebuild itself, what do cities need to do about urban planning and how they're dealing with flooding and these kind of historic events?
Well, Houston has a flood problem because, like most of coastal Texas, it's relatively flat. You don't go up quickly from the water. There are not a lot of hills. When there are depressions, those tend to flood first. It's an interesting conundrum of what do you do with places that flood every year or so. It certainly makes sense that we should have some way of encouraging folks to relocate their homes rather than rebuilding them or repairing them every few years.
Congressman, are you going to see the president and the First Lady today?
That's the plan. We don't have the complete itinerary yet. We've been told by the White House to be flexible with your schedule, and we're willing to do that because I do think it's critical that the president see the devastation in some of the areas just right around Corpus Christi. Thankfully, Corpus Christi proper dodged a bullet, and we've got stores open and life is slowly getting back to normal. I finally got my power back in my house about 10 o'clock last night.
Congressman, what's going to be the first thing you say to the president?
I'm going to say, welcome to Corpus Christi. We need your help. And I got to tell you, we've been getting great support from the White House and FEMA. I've spoken at length with Vice President Pence, and on behalf of President Trump, he promised us the support we need from the federal government. But with what's going on in Houston now, it's just becoming a bigger and bigger project. This is a disaster of historical proportions. We've never seen anything like this. Normally, a hurricane will come The winds will be here for a day, and then it'll be gone. This hurricane just won't leave.
Congressman, be safe, be well. Thank you for being here this morning. Congressman Blake Farenthold. Take care.
Thank you.